What is going on, my trainer club? It is going to be Chespin Comm Day tomorrow in Pokemon GO. So today we're going to break down the research quest line. Is it going to be worth $1? And then we're also going to check out the best of the best to see how Chespin, all the way into Chesnaught with the brand new move for it, not in general, of Frenzy Plant, is it going to make or break this Pokemon? So if you are seeing this after the Comm Day is over and you're like, I don't need to know about the quest line because I already played, please just check the timestamps and jump to the place that you do need, because I will be repurposing this video to help you guys get straight to it if you guys ever do have questions. So with that said, now let's get into the field research before we get into the Comm Day quest line of this Pokemon, because just remember we have a catch 3 Chespins, which can be a myriad of different things. The Chespin 100% IV coming from field research is going to be $469 for definitely something for you to remember. And not only that, you can get 2 Ultra Balls or 5 Great Balls or 2 Pineaps or 500 Stardust coming from this task, but obviously the most preferential is going to be Chespin. So do as many field research as possible. And now let's jump right into the $1 quest line in Pokemon GO. Is it going to be worth your time, effort, and resources? Obviously, it's only $1. I always suggest doing it. It's super easy, super fun. You get premium items, and then you get more chances at potentially getting 100 IV Chespins and even a Shundo in there as well. So let's check that out right now.
And the story number 1 is make 5 nice throws in a row for 15 Pokeballs, catch 15 Chespins for a Chespin encounter, and just remember the Chespin 100% IV is $469. Then we have power up a Pokemon 10 times. Remember to use those level 1 Pokemon for a Chespin 20 candy for 3,000 Stardust, a Chespin encounter again, and a incense. And then next we have stage number 2, transfer 10 Pokemon, 10 Pineapple Berries. Catch 15 Chespin for a Chespin encounter, evolve 3 Chespin for 30 Chespin candy and 4,500 XP, a Chespin encounter, and 1 incense again. On stage number 3, we have make 3 great curveball throws in a row, which is going to be 15 Great Balls. Catch 15 Chespin for a Chespin encounter and evolve 1 Quilladin for 50 Chespin candy for 4,500 Stardust, a Quilladin encounter, and a Rocket Radar. And then finally, we claim the rewards 3 times for 15 Ultra Balls, a Chespin encounter, and 2 Silver Pineaps for a grand total of 5,500 XP, a Chesnaught encounter, and 3 Rare Candy. And that is going to be the quest line. And once again, the items definitely add up to more than $1, so I always highly suggest you guys do this. Super easy way to try to get some 100% IVs and even good shiny IVs, and to get those premium items that already cover your dollar.
Alright guys, so as always, it is not the most lucrative thing, but think about $1, you get all that stuff. I mean, I think it's always worth it. You guys can tell me if it's worth it in the comments below. So with that said, now let's get into the best of the best with Chesnaught in Pokemon GO, because obviously in the Comm Day, it is getting Frenzy Plant, which makes it a stronger Pokemon, because previously it did only have Solar Beam. So let's see what happens to this Pokemon, because it is going to be a fighting and a grass type once it goes into Quilladin all the way into Chespin. It is going to max out at 3340, so it's not a super high Pokemon. It's going to have an attack of 201, a defense of 204, and a stamina of 204, so a relatively even-keeled Pokemon here, which for me, it's not sticking out too much that it's going to be an amazing PvP Pokemon, and it's definitely not sticking out too much that's going to be an amazing meta attacker, because just remember, in the grass category, we are going after Kartana. So now let's check out more. What is this Pokemon going to be weak to? It is going to be weak to 6 different things, including a double weakness to flying, which does scare me for PvP, because although there is not a ton of flying type Pokemon, there are definitely flying type Pokemon out there that could definitely wall this Pokemon if you get stuck with it. And then it's going to have single weaknesses to Psychic, Poison, Ice, Fire. So from those resistance standpoint, it does look pretty good. I'm not going to lie about the resistances. However, like I said, that flying type weakness in the double category is definitely going to be scary for me. So without further ado, let's check out this Pokemon's moveset, and let's see where this Pokemon does sit with an ER value that is the brand new DPS times CDO. Same exact theory, however, it is more accurate as a value. So let's see where it does sit and which moveset adding in Frenzy Plant is going to be best for it. Alright, so this Pokemon does get Vine Whip, and now the new Frenzy Plant at 3589, which is above the Solar Beam by 3 points at 3243. It also does get Low Kick and Frenzy Plant at 3434. It does get Smackdown and Frenzy Plant at 31.54. It also is going to get the Vine Whip and Superpower at 3053, Low Kick Superpower at 29.1, and then it also does get Energy Ball with the Vine Whip combination at 28.11. So obviously the strongest moveset on this Pokemon is going to be Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant. Okay, so since the grass category is notoriously not one of the strongest categories, it's not like Psychic, it's not like Dragon where the Pokemon are insane, this value is kind of questionable. I'm not really 100% sure where it's going to sit in this meta attacker standpoint. And then obviously we do have PvP as well that we will check out here in a second. So as far as a fighter, guys, I mean, we're going up against Shadow Machamp, regular Machamp, Hariyama, we're going up against Conkeldurr, we're going up against Lucario. This Pokemon, even though it does get Low Kick and Superpower, it is not going to stack up, because Superpower is not one of the premier fighting moves in Pokemon GO. Maybe if we did see it with Counter or even Low Kick and Dynamic Punch, we would be able to have this Pokemon come into question that, oh, okay, maybe this Pokemon could compete in the top fighting category, but with its stats and that moveset, it will not. not, so we are not going to check it out where it does sit because I can guarantee you it is not on page 1 or 2 for this Pokemon. But in the grass category, it does have some room to be pretty good. So let's check out the ER value of grass category in Pokemon Go. At the top, as always, we have Mega Sceptile, Insane, Bullet Seed Frenzy Plant, followed by Kartana, Razor Leaf, and Leaf Blade 43.64, 48.46 with the Mega Sceptile. Kartana is a massively amazing Pokemon. I cannot wait for the shiny out. That is going to be when I put in that OT grind to try to get that hundo. And then next we have the Mega Venusaur at 42.91. Followed next, we do have Zarude. However, that is a mythical Pokemon, but it does do a ER value at 41.38. Then Shadow Tangrowth, Shadow Torterra, Shadow Venusaur, which are all Shadow Pokemon that are premium, but they are still budget counters as opposed to Zarude and Kartana that you do have to pay. The Zarude is even more hard to be able to get because you cannot raid for it even more. We have Shaman with the Sky form. That is going to be at 39.29. Once again, a mythical Pokemon, not really the easiest one. Shadow Executor right there. And then on the next page, at the top, we have Tapu Bulu, which is another premier Pokemon for the XL Candy with Bullet Seed and Grass Knot at 36.2. Shadow Alolan Executor. And then in the 12th spot, available right now is going to be Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant at 35.89, which is above Shadow Victory Bell, above Roserade, above Tangrowth, above Celebi, and above Venusaur, which is crazy. So from a budget counter standpoint, guys, honestly, this Pokemon looks pretty good. It's going to be cheap to be able to power up, especially if you get a lucky hundo that I do recommend you guys do trade for. And additionally, I mean, all these other Pokemon are pretty much legendaries or mythical Pokemon that are very hard, or if not almost impossible, to be able to obtain XL Candy to be able to power up. So look at this. We have Zarude in there, that's top. We have Kartana. Kartana is a Ultra Beast. It is a very powerful Pokemon. I actually really like that Pokemon. Even though it is double weak to fire, man, as a meta attacker, using that Razor Leaf is insane when you go against those rocket Pokemon. Insane. I really like that Pokemon. I cannot wait to get 100% IV, and when that shiny does come out, I will be going grinding to be able to get that. So not only that, that's one of the strategies I do use for the shiny. So with that said, guys, do I suggest powering this Pokemon up? Honestly, it's a pretty good looker right here. It is not going to be too much farther behind a lot of these Pokemon, and additionally, like I said, it does get a good break, being that it is going to be a Comm Day Pokemon, and it does sit relatively high, 13th Pokemon overall in the grass category. So with that said, now let's check out the PvP. Where does it sit for the Great League, Ultra League, and the Master League? In the Great League, starting off, it's going to be ranked 75 with Vine Whip, Superpower, as well as the brand new move of Frenzy Plant. 100% IV on this one is going to be a 115-15. So obviously, this Pokemon is in the top 100. It did impress me as far as its placing goes, for sure. And then next, we do have it in the Ultra League. In the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 104 with a 115-14. So honestly, pretty decent. Not top 100, but at the same time, pretty good. And then in the Master League, 102, which you could multi-purpose that Pokemon from a meta attacker and then also use it in the Master League as well, even though you got to be careful for that double flying. However, even though it is well ranked in the Great League, you have to see how it does fit for your team. With these two movesets, it's obviously going to be a pretty good powered up Pokemon, meaning that when you do use these moves, you will be able to realize its charge moves pretty fast. However, it's going to be ranked 75, so there are going to be a decent amount of Pokemon above it, including Trevenant, which is a very strong Pokemon, Abomasnow in the Shadow form, Lurantis, Tropius, Abomasnow, Gourgeist, as well as Meganium. So obviously it has to fit your team. It does get a unique moveset, stab combination of grass as well as fighting, so that is definitely something to take into account. So with that said, that's going to be everything we need to know as far as the quest line, as far as a meta attacker, and as far as GBL. I do like this Pokemon. I'm not going to say to power it up and use it. You have to test it, but having it and being ready for it is going to be important in Pokemon Go. So thank you guys for being here as always. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes their support, subscription, inspiration to the next level, and see you guys out in the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.